Mic. Camera. Action.
You have heard of us?
I have.
Really?
The Four. The Bratva, the Brothers, the League of Thieves. Whatever Russian gangsters like to call themselves these days.
You clearly are somebody. You slaughter Vori soldiers. You steal Vori money.
It was a misunderstanding.
I am a brother of high rank. You, and all connected with you, will be hunted for 3 generations.
Yeah. I assume so. We all know how these things play out. You don't keep them tidy. That's for slapping that woman this morning.
That woman was my wife.
That's for slapping your wife.
Welcome back to the Filmography, the show dedicated to watching every credited film from an actor's complete back catalogue from past debut through to present day in chronological order. Each episode, I'm joined by an esteemed guest to watch and discuss the next entry from the focused filmography. I consider how it ranks amidst their career and whether we can trace any typecasting trends or topic traits or theatrical tics. For this special bonus episode, I'm joined by industrious man Tony Farina to discuss the 47th big screen appearance of the Stath in Sly Team Up, A Working Man. We watch, you listen, and hopefully watch along too. Tony, sir, you were the only guy that was right for this podcast. I mean, it's been a long time in the works, this one, hasn't it? But
yeah.
Great to finally get together to discuss this. A book series we've read from start to finish.
Yes.
Assuming they were hoping this might be a film series, that will need to be part of the conversation, I think.
I agree. First of all, let me say 47. Hot damn.
Right.
Stath. I mean, it's funny. I would not have guessed that. I mean, I know. I should know. I mean, I've listened to every one of the... I know how many there are, but like to hear it, I was like, God, is that right? But also good on him. You know, he staths it up. There's a the stand-up comedian Nate Bargatze. You know who he is? He's like this Southern American guy. It doesn't matter. He does this bit in his book. He just written a book. He's written a book called Big Dumb Eyes, and which is what he looks like, and he knows that. But anyway, there's this whole thing about Jason Statham in the book, where it's like he wants to just come home at night and watch a Jason Statham movie, and his wife goes, "Which one?" He's like, "It doesn't matter."
Yeah. Yeah, he's absolutely right. Yeah.
Right. And there's a whole bit in the book about it, and I just laughed and laughed. And I was like, oh my God, it's so true. And she's like, but if it doesn't matter, aren't they all the same? He's like, that's what?
Yeah. That's the genius.
What is the problem with, what is your problem that you don't understand? Now, I don't think that's true. I think he's got some nuance. I think he does work.
Of course.
But yeah, so here we are. We're here because we read the book. So about a year and a half ago, Amazon was selling the ebooks, all 12.
Yeah, it was 11 at that point, I think, and the 12th
one. And the 12th one came out. Yeah. That's right, for $11 for the Kindle collection. So it was Levon Cade 1 through 6, and then 7 through 11. And we're like, well, why would you not buy $1 an ebook, even if they suck? Yeah. And of course, Chuck Dixon, who is problematic for all the Chuck Dixon-y reasons, he is in my opinion, he is the greatest Tim Drake writer of all time. And that was my love with Chuck Dixon, is like his Robin series is the definitive Tim Drake. So like I'm all in on Chuck Dixon, but he's got this other weird, like this kind of weird side. And so we read, and I was saying Levon the whole time. How?
I know. Me too. Not Levon.
And then
leave on because it's O-N, but yeah, the movie does not say it the way I expect.
They say leavin. What do they say?
Leavin, yeah. Leavin
Cade.
On.
I'm like, what do we say? That I didn't care for that, but I mean, I don't know. Whatever.
I'm glad we both thought the same thing. The first time someone said his name, I was like, what? Who?
Yeah, I'm like, who are we talking about? Levon? Levon? Like, like the guy from the band, like the band, right? That's his name, Levon. So it's like,
right. Yeah.
Spelled the same.
Like LeVar Burton and like,
that,
where you put the emphasis, that doesn't sound right to me.
Right. So we forgive us, audience, if we call him, we'll just call him Cade. We'll call him Stath.
Well, anyway, we'll call him Stath. Let's be honest. That's what we'll do. Yeah.
So the Cade books.
There's never been a more Stath role.
There has never been, and it is really perfect for him. But the Cade, so the Cade character is cool, and it is definitely a real series. Like you can tell that Chuck Dixon wrote comic books because it is very serialized. And this first one, which was called Levon's Trade, is the first one.
Yeah, I want to talk about that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And so so he is a bit different character in the book, but it's still very Stathy. And the book is, I didn't reread the entire book. I started to, but then I kept getting asked to do things. I was like, I want to just reread this book before the show. I only got about halfway through, which is, so anyway, and I was just going to do it today because, it's a quick read. I was like, I just read it this morning, but then work, lame, stupid work. Should have been like, I'm taking the day off so I can reread Levon's Trade.
But then I wouldn't have been able to introduce you as the industrious man. So
that's right, correct.
My whole intro would have been at the water.
That's fantastic. So anyway, but they were fun, and Mary is such a great. As we both fell in love with Mary as a character, she's so great, and I think this as a TV series or as a movie series could really kill in the right hands, and maybe it's not in the right hands, and again we'll have some of that conversation, but. So we were excited. So we read all the books. They were exactly what you were hoping for.
Yeah, it was my last summer holidays read basically, and I blitzed all of them in about 2 months, I think. Yeah,
because they're so quick.
They're so quick, and some of them are really short, aren't they? They're almost kind of novellas. They're almost kind of like fill-ins between the main adventures, and they kind of have a little flavour, don't they? Like this one is the kind of revenge thriller, but the second one is more like a die-hard scenario, and he plays with all these kind of different kind of tropes.
Yeah, there's even a tech one.
There's
all the hidden cameras. Yeah.
And like one is like he goes off to war, and they're really fun. And Levon is a character you like to track, but why he's such a perfect state vehicle in terms of like the character he can own is that Levon's always going to come out on top. He might get slightly injured, but he's Stath. He's pretty indestructible. He's going to bounce off him in the end. But you're right. The growth of the characters around him in this series are great, particularly Mary, because it's set over years, isn't it? The book series. Like Mary is a teenager by the end of the.
Yeah, and he's got a whole second kid.
Yeah. So she's a great character that really, I think we were both saying she should kind of get a spin-off of her own, and we could be reading the Mary books quite happily.
Mary Joins the Marines is this, like, that's the title. Give me that. I'm all about Mary, because she's going to.
Yeah, sure.
By the time the end of the books, you're like, well, obviously.
She's already better than all of them before she even
so I would say one. Yeah, it would be, and it would make Gunny proud. And like, it just, I was really, and it was weird because I believe the actor who plays Mary is British, but they chose to have her speak with an American accent. What the hell?
I was going to talk to you about that because I didn't know until I was reading about it afterwards. Yeah. Isla Guy, I think her name is. Yeah, amazing. A much better accent than the Stath has ever managed to produce. Yeah. A much earlier point of her career. Even his accent in this, they rewrite the story for him to be British in this. Fine. Yeah. He's like a Royal Marine.
20 years in the Royal Marines.
Yeah, he said something like, did it for 22 years.
Yeah. Nice. That was good. Good
but he's still got his like wavery all over the map accent in this movie. I don't know why they bother. Just
be Stath.
I guess he would have been in America for another 20 years by this point in his life, wouldn't he? If he moved.
Yeah, but he would have. Sure, but so let's say he moves at 30. Yeah. He does 20 years, or 40 maybe. So regardless of that, 10, 50, doesn't matter. His accent would be set. Like if you move to America tomorrow, you're not going to sound like me.
Right, yeah. Unless you make that concerted effort to
change your accent or whatever. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's very odd. I'm not sure whose choice that was, but
and I don't know why they keep making him try.
No, like maybe that's just how he sounds now. Maybe he's just done it so much he's like stuck. Like my mum used to say. I think lots of parents used to say, make that face and the wind changes. It's going to get stuck like that. I don't know if that's an American saying as well. It's a very British saying. Yeah.
It's when you get hit in the back. If you make that face, you get hit in the back.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just the wind changed whilst he was doing that accent, and now he's just stuck. Yeah. That's how he sounds.
Like Rose Byrne. Like when you hear Rose Byrne talk normal, it's so weird because Like it moves so much. Like in the Platonic show, we're watching it and all of a sudden she's talking. We're like, what is happening? And then I read a thing where it was like, that she was just going to do her. She like corrected herself. She's like, "Oh, I need to retake." And they're like, "No, just talk." But because she's lived in America so long and she's with Bobby Cannavale and they've got kids, so her Australian accent is fading. But it pops up in the weirdest places. Sometimes it'll change mid-sentence. And so like in Platonic, I don't know if you've seen Platonic, but that's a fun show. Her and Seth Rogen. But in that, it's just like, but that's like almost part of the joke. Of the show.
No,
It's like,
it's fun. I get it. I mean,
but
Ethan,
with this,
my youngest, he talks. He picks up certain words from M. So certain words he says will be grass or bath.
Yeah.
The rest of it is water because we've obviously grown up in London. So I need some water from a bath. It's fun. That is true how that happens. Yeah. It does happen, doesn't it? Yeah.
But for him, and so it could be, I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, he's all Stathy. So yeah, we were excited. And I'm glad it was me to do this. We loved the books. They were perfect for us. They're like a love letter to the Robert Parker books and to to the Spencer books, but to Parker, the Parker books by guy's name, who's not his real name, who wrote the
I do know what you mean. I've read a couple now, but I can't.
Yeah, well, because Stath did Parker.
Yeah.
Right, so that guy. So, like, this Cade character is clearly an homage to the Parker character.
Yeah.
And which, obviously, Statham played. So it was also... And that movie wasn't great.
No, it was fine, wasn't it?
We did that together. Yeah, it was fine.
Donald Westlake.
Westlake, And that... Yeah. So I get what it is, and I get where Dixon's coming from, and it is... interesting, like you said, that he manages to do all the touch points and all the kind of thriller genres. So I find like he was really showing off a little bit in his writing skills. Some of it is cringy. Going back and rereading it, you're like, oof. But then you're like, oh, the character saying that awful thing, which both Westlake and Robert Parker and Mike Hammer, a lot of those, explain, a lot of those characters have their characters say terrible things. We've read each other's work. We both have characters say stuff we would never say. So but again, because Chuck Dixon has got some political views that are not all the things I agree with, sometimes you're like, oh, Chuck. But I still love the books. And so I was really looking forward to this. So
yeah, it kind of comes with the territory, doesn't it, as well? These kind of like revenge thrillers do often kind of lean into that kind of, even like you go back and watch a lot of the 80s stuff, the Arnie and Sly stuff, that kind of, right-wing, like, man does what he wants because it's the right thing to do, doesn't worry about the consequences. That, think about the kind of support that, Stallone and Arnie were getting back in those days, and
sure, and Stallone is still getting.
Stallone's, yeah, exactly. I was about to say, and still Stallone now. Interestingly, Arnie seems to have, he's a Republican, isn't he? I believe, but he's like a left-leaning Republican for sure.
He's like an old, like a Gerald Ford Republican, like he's a Republican in like. And they say Rhino in America, Republican name only, but he's like extra Republican, like an old school Republican. He's like a Republican who's like small government, stay out of my business, leans libertarian kind of thing. Yeah. Like not to say that you don't need a social safety net, but maybe we don't need that. Maybe that's not, maybe there is some government overreach. Maybe you are spending taxes in the wrong way. So that's fair. But all of those kinds of Republicans are definitely like flag wavy, regime changer people, which is funny too, because like Stallone, that was one of the big things is like he did not serve in Vietnam. Like he was a draft dodger. And so it's like for you to like sort of make your career as like patriot guy.
And there's no way Rocky's a Republican, I wouldn't have thought either.
No way. Yeah. No fucking way. I know. It's crazy.
But
nor is Rambo in theory. Yeah.
No, like your Death Wish stuff, all those kind of movies, they kind of fit into that. That's the kind of person.
Yes. That's
which
it.
champion that kind of attitude, isn't it? That, it's because you hippie-loving, peacekeeping snowflakes have let the world get to this point. Now we need a proper man. We need a proper red-blooded guy to deal with the situation.
It's the people who misunderstand Frank Castle.
Right, yeah. So we talk about the same economy, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, my favorite thing is when people have like, I've seen down here, I see people have stickers who have Punisher stickers with Trump's hair. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Frank Castle hates Donald Trump.
Yeah, for sure.
There is a 0% chance that Frank Castle likes Donald Trump. There's nothing about him that he likes. He would be pissed if he was like, and I'm assuming Garth Ennis is not super thrilled. I'm sure there's a lot of people who aren't like super thrilled at the way that Punisher has been co-opted. You're like, my Punisher? Did you read War Journal and you think this is what I want? But all of that is to say, yeah, but this is all that. It's in that realm, but Dixon does it in a really fascinating way that it is not, and I think it's merry.
It's merry, and at his heart, Cade is a man that serves, isn't he? He puts other people's, I can't think what the word is, but he puts other people before himself, doesn't he? Like this first book, this first story in the novel, for sure.
Yeah,
we have that sense of. He ends up he doesn't start doing it because of the right reasons, but he ends up fulfilling the mission because it's the right thing to do. And that's something I think worth talking about in the change from the book to the movie as well. I think there's a bit of a misstep.
Tell us that. What do you think it is?
Well, in the book, obviously he does it. He's working as a
security guard.
Like security guard and construction site, which is kind of where the name for this movie comes from. And I definitely want to talk about the title change and his skills. This very special set of skills get noticed, don't they? So his boss asks him to, as in the movie, I think the first 20 minutes, the first act of this is pretty much the same, isn't it? Asks him to help him find his missing daughter. But he pays him, and that's why Levon takes it in the book, because he needs the money to try and battle his father-in-law to get custody of Mary. And I think, fine, that's good motivation. But by the end of the story, money doesn't matter anymore. It's about doing the right thing because of what has happened to this girl. Whereas here they change it, don't they, to like it's the Fast and Furious family.
Yeah, immediately they do that right away.
That's bled in here, and it doesn't work because they still keep the scene when he says no.
Yeah, so that doesn't work.
No, the guy says, will you do it? And he's like, nah, I've put that behind me. I don't do that anymore. And then 5 minutes later, he's like, yeah, because you're my family, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
That totally doesn't work at all. They even offer him the money and everything. And that.
It's because he goes to see, they bring Gunny in.
Yeah, early, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why. So, because Gunny is his family, so they bring Gunny in. And Gunny's like, why'd you come to get permission from me if you have something you already knew you were going to do? And you're like, okay.
Which I kind of like that scene because it's David Harbour, and David Harbour's great, and the chemistry from them's good as well. But
we didn't need it. That needed to be
get rid of the money, or it's
correct.
It's like, yeah, well, no, I can't do it because I can't get in trouble because of Mary. That needs to be the reason. There needs to be just something's not quite right in the transfer. They haven't quite thought that out, I don't think.
Yeah, they did not think it out at all. And Stallone wrote this, and we don't know how many hands were on it. I know he doesn't like it when other people touch his stuff.
And Ayer's got a writing credit as well. So I don't know
did.
How much
there you go. That's the thing, right? Is that Ayer getting the writing credit? I feel like you can tell who made which choices.
Oh, you mean the two final Russian henchmen? They weren't a Stallone invention. You mean the fact they're the two Russian sons wear these like weird Versace velour? I mean, it's so Ayer, isn't it? Like he loves these kind of little character quirks and these over the top.
And those characters exist. The twins exist in the book.
Yeah.
But it's not, I mean...
They wouldn't look like that because they're meant to be Vor. They're meant to be kind of... The whole point of the Vor is they do things without being noticed.
Yeah, not like how
say that in this movie as well.
I know.
Yeah. And then they walk around in these like brightly coloured... They look like bloody Dumb and Dumber, like when they're in those two...
Oh my God, that's
suits.
perfect. The orange and blue suits.
Yeah.
And they are wearing orange and blue, aren't they?
I think they are, whether it's meant to be a reference.
Oh my God. I hope not. That's... No, that's the wrong movie. What are you doing? Oh, that
is what Ayer likes doing, doesn't he? And that's where Beekeeper works. And I really like the Beekeeper. But the whole world is built around that kind of outlandishness. That doesn't fit here. So tonally, it's a bit off, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's it. I'm like, this isn't in the same world as Beekeeper, but you tried. And you're like, you've got Beekeeper 2 coming. I will watch the fuck out of that. But like, this... And I liked Beekeeper a lot. I liked it better than this. Which makes me sad because I wanted this. This is the thing. I came in with my rose-colored glasses, ready to forgive it for all of its things because I really liked the books. I was excited to talk to you about it. I knew it was like a cool way for us to get back to Stath for like all the reasons we've talked about already. And it's like, Ayer is not my favorite guy, director-wise, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think he's always good. I was trepidatious about Beekeeper. I was like pleasantly surprised with Beekeeper. And is that so? Anyway, so do you think Stallone should have directed this, or would that have not worked either?
No, because I think there is some Stallone stuff in this as well. Like what the change in the plot for Jenny, for their daughter who's taken. That's very Rambo Last Blood, isn't it? That's kind of him rehashing that plot line from that movie as well that he wrote. So I'm not sure either of them are quite right, unfortunately, in this instance. I mean, the novel is so streamlined anyway. I don't know why they felt they needed to change it, to be honest. I think the novel pushes things, and this would have been an 18. It would have been a harder watch.
Yeah.
And they needed to soften it. They needed to Hollywoodize it a little bit in terms of what happens to Jenny and what happens to the granddad, Dr. Roth, isn't it?
None of that happens at all in here. And I'm okay cutting that.
And you and I always say that. We're happy for adaptations because that's what it is. It's a change because it suits the medium. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, and it is absolutely fine to not have what happens to Dr. Roth. Like, that is okay. But then you're also not setting it up. Now you're putting him, if you're going to continue on, in order for him to continue on with Mary, now you're putting him as he's kidnapped his own daughter, whereas in the books, there's nowhere else for her to go.
Yeah.
He's disappeared, so there's nobody to be like, oh. So, but again, I was fine with that. I didn't.
Yeah,
the weird scene when he shows up and he's also dressed like Jamiroquai. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
that scene? I didn't understand what was happening. I was like,
I'm not okay with the casting of Dr.
What
Roth.
was that?
I don't know who he is or like.
He's bad.
Yeah, he is bad. What's that? I'm going to look this guy's name up.
And it was and you know, you don't want to blame the actor. He could just be doing what was asked of him. But it's like there's a million other people I could have cast in that role, but not guy who's dressed like fucking Grandpa Jamiroquai. I'm like, what is that outfit? Like, it was bananas to me. I didn't understand.
Richard Heath, his name is, not an actor I know. But.
So who do you think? Who's the action director du jour? Like, who's the person who could have? You could have said, I'm giving you $30 million, which was the budget for this. Go.
Yeah. Oh, what a question.
Who directed Ava?
Oh, I've not seen Ava. I don't know.
Huh.
So, I think I don't think you need somebody who's a name, really. I think you need to build this around the Stath because we know he's perfect for the role. We need to build it around the existing script, and we need to make these tweaks. Fine, like Dr. Roth can survive, Jenny can survive. I kind of get that, and I can't quite like what they do with Jenny in terms of giving her a bit more agency. I think that's quite interesting, and Ayer talks about that in some of the behind the scenes stuff. But I don't think you need Stallone putting a stamp on it. You don't need Ayer putting a stamp on it. You just need to tell the story more simply. And that sounds wrong because it's quite a simple story anyway. And a lot of the criticisms of this are that it's a bit too straightforward, that I read online earlier today. But I don't know. I just think they've tinkered with it for the sake of tinkering. And I think the choices they've made aren't quite right. I mean, I don't know who, you and I have watched The Killer's Game recently.
Which I enjoyed very much.
I don't know who directed that. We could look it up, I'm sure. Yeah. But I mean, they did a good job, and actually, I think they got the assignment, and that's kind of what this film should have been.
Correct, and everybody in that movie was having. This film,
actually,
I agree, and this isn't the Killer's Game was fun. They were having fun, and actually, Stath was one of the many people who was tapped to be in that along the way. Yeah. And apparently, that's been in production since the book came out. Which again, I've got the audiobook. I'm going to read it. It's on Hoopla. So by the way, you could get the audio and the ebook are both on Hoopla. So I'm going to definitely give that a go. But that was fun. And Bautista had fun. Everybody's having a little bit of fun in that film. Nobody's having fun in this.
And they shouldn't be, considering the story.
Exactly. Correct. And that's okay. But Gunny but it is fun with Gunny. It's supposed to be fun with Gunny, and the scenes with Mary are supposed to be tonal. And that is, he does do a good job with that, where he switches for Mary really easily, and they have good chemistry, like you believe that's his daughter. I thought that was the strongest part of the movie, and because the relationship with Mary, and he says it repeatedly, like, I can't do the Stath voice like you do, but he's like, if you had a daughter. And that is a line that Joe Bob, Michael Pena's character, is called Joe Bob in the book. I don't remember what his name is in this. Not Joe Bob.
Definitely not Joe Bob.
Yeah, but he says, do you have a daughter? And that's the moment that gets him to, and of course, then he pays him $50,000. But he's like, if you have a daughter. And so that comes up like 3 times in here. And like they lean into the, it's my family thing, which again, that can be with a lighthearted fun. But the story itself, where he is the one-man killing machine, is fine. I'm okay for this being like Taken, which is what it is. But it's just, I can't quite, I mean, I've got lots of criticisms of it, but I can't quite land exactly where they went wrong. And is it all just that Stallone and Air? That's the problem.
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, because I mean, you're right. Taken is a massive touchstone, isn't it? John Wick is obviously a massive touchstone on this as well.
Yeah.
Like, Air keeps trying to make his own version of John Wick, it seems, at the moment. And this could have been, I mean, I don't know if we'll get any sequels to this, if I'm honest. It did pretty well. It made nearly 100 million off a 30 million budget. It's potentially could go straight to streaming. I mean, I know it was initially written by Stallone as a series. I don't know if the books have got enough legs to be a whole season, really. You'd have to do a couple of the books per season, and then I'm not sure that would work, because they shift tonally because of the focus in them. So I think the movie was the right way to go. It just, to me, watching it, it felt like I said, it's the small changes. So this change in the kind of motivation for him doesn't quite work for me. And like when he goes to get Mary from school, when the Vor have been and they've attacked Dr. Roth, or they've interrogated him, and in this version it's slightly different. They've set his house on fire and they've left him to burn inside the house. The fact that Levon goes there and runs into a burning house to save him and leaves Mary alone in the car, that sounds like a really bad tactical decision to me. And we're meant to believe Levon is this highly trained, like the best ever that Gunny's ever worked with and ever trained. They kind of even them out in the movie, don't they? They seem to have worked together in the movie, whereas in the books, Gunny was his like training sergeant, wasn't it? But he's like the best guy ever, but he's running into a burning building and leaving his daughter alone. I fully expected them to have changed the story, so when he came back out, she was gone.
100%. I thought so too.
They didn't do that, and I'm kind of glad they didn't, because I didn't need that at all. But that's not a good tactical decision. I don't believe he would have done that. So it's these little things, I think, that they've added them in because they want to create drama in the moment, but what they're doing is affecting the overall arc and they're undermining the character, I think. That's the problem for me.
Correct, because there's a scene in like book 6 where they're sitting there and they're having their milkshakes like they do, and they're sitting and they're in the diner, and he leaves her at the table, and that's different because she's older, different Mary at that stage of the game. She's not 9, she's like 12 at that point, and 12-year-old Mary that's when her agency starts to come in.
She's already been through plenty by this point. Yeah.
Correct. So that works. And so I'm with you, because we don't see this version of Mary, because in this version, in the books, he's with her every weekend. Yeah. And in this, he's with her for 2 hours a week. Yeah. Well, that doesn't work. I like what you're saying, because I didn't find that right when they pull up and he's like, stay here. Like, what? Like, no,
he hasn't scouted the area. He hasn't checked to see if they're still there. He's just like running into the burning building. So they want to make him seem heroic.
Yes, of course, so that Mary can say he didn't need to save you.
Yeah,
and then the police are also like, "Oh, please leave this crime scene."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Father and daughter just walk off together, leaving this crime scene. We're not going to question you at all. Like.
But in the book, like, he knows this is going on and he just leaves them to their fate. And I know that's kind of cruel, but tactically it's the right thing to do to protect him and Mary. Yeah. And I would rather see that tactical mind. I'd rather see that character. I'm actually much more on their side than I am the kind of more tropey, fall into this kind of reluctant hero style character which they're trying to present here.
Yeah, because he's not. And in this, they don't. So, and interestingly enough, too, instead of making him a security guard in this one, he's the foreman of the construction site. So instead of being in Alabama and it's in Chicago, which is fine because you're shooting in Chicago anyway. So you're just like, we're going to shoot Chicago. Like people shoot in Chicago or shoot in Atlanta. During the outtakes of the Jackpot, did you see that with John Cena and Awkwafina? At the very end, during the outtakes, they're driving and John just says, boy, Los Angeles looks a lot like Atlanta. I thought that was really funny. So I get it, like everything, like they had to film Justified in Chicago instead of Detroit. You're like, get your shit together, Detroit. What are you doing? Like, what make it easier on people. So it's fine. It's fine. I understand. It makes more sense in Chicago than what it is because in the book, it's the gangsters are actually in Florida and Tampa, but he lives in Alabama and there's no budget for that. So I'm fine with those choices. It's fine. All of those decisions are there, but making him a foreman instead of head of security. So then Michael Pena's character is like, I can tell by the look in your eye, you're that guy. You're like where Joe Bob's like, I've pulled your file. You're my head of security. You've got these gaps. I've hired people like you before. I know who you are. You're a badass. I need you to do this work for me. Whereas Michael Pena is like, you're just nice, Levon. And we think, the thing where she says snitches get stitches. Yeah. When Jenna, they call her Jenny in this. She's Jenna in the book. Jenny sees him beat up all those guys at the beginning. Their parents don't know. Where Joe Bob's like, I've hired you to be my chief of security. You are a badass. I've watched you kick people's ass. So it's like, that's where your point about reluctant hero, as opposed to like, no, you are the badass. I hired you to be the badass. Not because he's like, well, if you've got to take care of things, I can keep the site running. That's what he says. Yeah,
it's like I've had no thefts this whole time you've been in the book. It's like there's been no thefts the whole time you've worked for me. Like you're an intimidating guy and you're doing your job really, really well.
Right. Yeah. And so there's the logical jump is too much.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And you waste Michael Pena too.
Yeah, Joe Garcia, I think he's called in this. You do waste Michael Pena, because he's fine in the scenes he's in, but then he's out the movie until the very last scene.
Yeah.
And again, like that character comes back in the books in quite an interesting way, and they don't do that here either.
Yeah.
Snitches get stitches as well. That felt so. That is like not even middle age anymore, but one middle aged man and one elderly man, one OAP, trying to sound young. That was bad.
And what do you make of? So the big change in this is like, and look, I think there's a lot of missteps this movie makes, but Jenny. Everything about Jenny is a misstep in this. Like the list is long. Everything about her is, and I get what they're trying to do. Like you said, give her the agency and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was it just like because of Stallone being Stallone? We've seen in Parker, in the Transporter 2, we've seen Stath fight a woman.
Yeah.
So. Right, which is great. That's actually one of the better. I love that's some good fights. And is it Ruby Rose in John Wick 2? John Wick fights. So it's not. Which those are great fight scenes. And Ruby Rose is not a good actor at all. But boy, is she really physical? Isn't that her in that?
Yeah. The silent one,
Yeah. I'm watching I watched a really bad movie with her and Ava Green where they play like commandos. It's called Dirty Angels. Oh, it's awful. Oh my God. But it is. The thing about it is.
Be careful with that title as well.
Yeah. Oof. But it's Ava Green playing American, who, by the way.
Right.
And like in her version of Three Musketeers, like what makes those so good is because it's all them doing their own stunts and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think you miss out, like this woman who you've got playing Jenny, you're trying to make her something she isn't. And then you're putting her in this place where she's now got to fight the girl at the end, the girl fight, air quotes. Yeah. That was so stupid and so bad. And it was clearly neither of them. And it's like, then to watch this bad action movie with Ava Green and Ruby Rose, like doing all their own stunts, and like the Three Musketeers movies where they're like literally that's them. You know why it looks cool? Because they're sword fighting. It looks amazing because those two actors are doing that thing, and it makes it worse because you see that Stath doing all that stuff, and then it's randos from the mall. Just hire stunt performers. None of these people are good actors. There's so many. So sorry, I'm just rambling at all the missteps. The question was, what did you think about the Jenny? Like, I get that they want to give her agency, but does that work?
I actually thought the actress was pretty decent. I thought she was quite good in the role. I sort of bought her as the character. And I get that they want to change what happens to her because she's out. She's taken and she's out of the book almost immediately because she dies of an overdose, doesn't she? I didn't understand the kind of hostile style reasoning for the guy taking her. I thought that was crap. I hated the scene when the female, I think she was called Artemis, when the female kidnapper brings her food in the cell. It felt very kind of, I can't think of a better phrase than prison porn. It felt like it was meant to get you like hot and go like, "Whoa, yeah, guys are going to love this scene when she's getting in her face and like, whoa, and it's sexy." No, it was not.
No, awful.
But it felt like that's what they were going for.
You're right.
I don't know if you felt the same.
Hostile is the right. That is what I couldn't figure out what made me hate it all. Because I get you're trying to give her agency, but that's it. And I hate those movies. I saw the first one. It was like, this is terrible. And I know they've made like 15 of them. And I couldn't, I can't be bothered because I hate torture porn. Yes, that is it. Like, what is that plot?
And they do set her up of being capable because they, in the conversation, like
karate champ.
Like, oh, I was a karate champ and I gave it up. And my granddad used to teach me this. And it's like Chekhov's
kicks. Sure.
Kicks, later. And so she gets to do a bit of Black Widow-y stuff with her legs. But yeah, again, I thought like they're trying to escape saying okay, like I can see why they're doing it, and I think it was all with good intentions. So they didn't want her to be a straight damsel in distress. They didn't want her just to be written straight out. They wanted to give her something to do. I think in a story about daughters being important, for the daughter to be able to do something for herself, I get it. I just think where they've decided to make those changes and where they pitched it don't make sense. So I sort of feel for the actress. I thought she was perfectly decent. Actually, I sort of bought her in the role, but I think, like her again, like Lavon at the end. We have this big action scene. It's another misstep, and as if I'm some tactical genius. But also, I'm going into a room. I've just taken out. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about the third act because you said you've got some takes. This may be one of them. I'm sorry if I trample on one of them.
No, please.
We've had a pretty decent. We'll see what you think. Action scene. Nothing up to the level of the Beekeeper, to be honest, but they're good enough. Yeah. I'll let you lead on that in a minute, and I'll give my thoughts afterwards. But then he gets into the final room, and it's the two kidnappers and him are left. And he starts this really brutal kind of takedown of the guy. I think he's called Viper. And I kind of thought, fine. This guy deserves it. Like, fuck him up. I know you're not a fan, but it's like the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know you're not a fan of Tarantino. Yeah. But like that, what happened to those people was kind of wish fulfillment, right? They were the people who killed Sharon Tate in real life. So let's see them get fucked up on screen. And I kind of get what Tarantino's going for there. That's that kind of cathartic sense of like, if we could, we would really hurt these people. And I think Lavon's doing, I get it. But also, again, shit tactical decision because you're leaving your kidnap victim to fend for herself. You don't know she's got any skills. She's tied up. She's up against the kidnapper. She's already lost to them, as we now know, like 2 or 3 times. And he's not. He should be knocking that guy out and then going back, and then that guy should be getting up, and then we should have the brawl.
Correct.
But it's not. It's all. So that woman could just turn around and slit her throat, and that's that. And you've gone through all of this for nothing. So it's another one of those.
She would have.
Yeah.
And she would have that. None of that whole thing, other than like you said, like the prison porn, to have her hanging from the chain, and so she can do the cool Black Widow leg thing, and they're like hot ladies fighting. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, no.
As a pair, they even get told about 2/3 through their film, maybe a bit earlier than that. Like, get rid of her now, and then it's like 20 minutes later, and she's still alive. Like, what? Like again, let's reorder that edit, or let's do something with that. It all just didn't quite line up. So I think I think intention was good, but there were too many misstep issues that affected that sort of that part of the plot line for me.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more. Now, I feel like I had to look up his name because I can never remember his name. To me, you talk about re-edit and reorder. Jason Fleming is wasted.
Oh yeah, agreed. And he's excellent in that torture scene.
You give me Jason Fleming, he's the bad. Now, you want to set up the sequel that there's the big bad above him with the screaming Russian guy at the end who's looks like Leonard Cohen. Fine. Give me angry Russian Leonard Cohen. I'm here for you. I mean, literally, right? That's what he looks like.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it, but now you said it. Absolutely, yeah.
Because he's just, I mean, everybody knows, like, you close your eyes and you know what Leonard Cohen is dressed like, right? He's dressed in all black and he's got that cool black hat on and he looks cool as fuck because he's Leonard Cohen. That's what this guy is. I'm like, right. Okay. And I believe Leonard Cohen's probably was rest in peace, Leonard, was a Russian Jew. So I believe that that's who this guy is. Mm-hmm. Whatever. Cool. I get why you want to look like, I want to look like the coolest Jewish guy there ever was, Leonard Cohen. I'm going to dress like him. Fantastic. If that's your big bad to set up your second movie because, you got to, great. But you have Jason fucking Fleming.
Yeah.
What a waste. And so he needs to be the big bad. And so for me, the third act problem is these two big bads, the Viper and Artemis, they suck. Yeah, they needed to go as early as the Dumb twins, the Dumb and Dumber twins. And I feel like the biker gang, that it was cool. The scenes were good. It was well choreographed. None of that made sense. And for him to be like, my fight wasn't with you. He's like, I know. And then he shoves the knife through his throat. Like all of that was stupid. Like the biker gang guy, big biker gang guy, like the number one head of the biker gang who sat on the throne. He was cool. He was fine. He was a serviceable actor. He needs to be on Levon's side. Because he needs to see what's happening. He doesn't know about the human traffic or anything. He's a drug dealer.
Yeah. Dutch, I think his name was.
Dutch. Yeah. So you get him to turn because, like Gunny, you can see they have a moment. He
mentions he was like a former paratrooper, doesn't he? I think.
Correct. Yeah. So they were they have a moment. So the fact that the biker gang shows up for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I hate it when they do this in movies. There's we've got word that he's going here. How? From who? Like, he's killed everybody. So who's given you? It's one of those shorthand things they do in movies because they can't be bothered to think of a decent reason for these guys to be in it. Yeah, it's bullshit. I guess I gave it a little. I completely agreed with you. I was like, how on earth would they know where he's going? You're right. They've got no connection to any of this stuff. I gave it a little bit of leeway only because I needed some action by that point. There'd been a bit of a lull, and the action we got felt to me kind of John Woo inspired. That kind of guys on motorbikes bursting through windows and Levon on foot, it felt like kind of like Hard Target or nowhere near as good as Hard Target, let alone Hard Boiled, but certainly felt very kind of influenced.
Hard Target is good though. That's the right call. Yeah,
like American John Woo, let's say, correct. Rather than Hong Kong John Woo, which is still better than good. Better than most people's on their best day. So I was kind of into it. I was kind of enjoying it, and it was like, finally we're getting some of that hand-to-hand stuff. And what I was pleased about in that final scene was I could see it. That bar fight should have been really cool, but it was so heavily edited. I had no fucking clue what was going on. It was like a classic Stath scene where he's got 6 guys all around him. I want to see him take those people down. Now, whether it's he can't quite do it as much anymore, I don't think I believe that. I think it was just really poorly edited. And you brought up Transporter 2. It made me think of the first Transporter movie when he's when he's storming the house, when he's going back to get the girl who'd been kidnapped.
Jumps through the door.
Yeah, and he's having that corridor fight, and the guys are coming in with axes from both sides, and he's fending them both off in each way, and you can see everything because it's Corey Yen, and he knows what he's doing, and it's choreographed beautifully, and he's putting the cameras in the right place so you can see the moves.
Well lit.
And it's well lit. That barroom fight should have been brilliant, but it was just boring because I couldn't work out what was happening.
I couldn't either. And I was I was watching it close up like this on the computer. Like I'm here. Yeah. I wasn't watching it. Like I'm here. I'm inches away with my reading glasses on. I'm in. Mm-hmm. I'm here for you, as clear as can be. And it was awful. It was really bad. I backed it up. What did I miss? And I'm going to say something about, one of the world's greatest directors. But who sucks at directing action scenes? Chris Nolan.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was a lot, doesn't it? Yeah. Look, the guy he's Batman. You can't see his face. You don't need this many fucking cuts. Yeah.
Just let the stunt guy do it. When you look at what they do with Daredevil, right? And I know some of that is Charlie, but some of it is a stunt performer. And I don't know who the stunt performer's name is, but he's Charlie's and Chris Evans's stunt guy. He's the same guy. So he does the elevator scene. for Chris Evans, and he does the hallway scene for Charlie Clapp. Because, same setup, right? You got the same hood on, got a square jaw. You could be either one of those guys. Great. Those are and even the hallway scene in Daredevil and the stairway scene is dark. Both of those are dark, but you can fucking see everything, and you've got a great stunt performer. Here you've got Stath. So to me, don't hire character actors to then fill them in with stunt people. Just hire stunt people. You talked about my dislike for Tarantino, and that has just grown over the years. But you know what movie I fucking like? Death Proof. You know why? Because he hired a goddamn stunt woman.
Sure, yeah.
She's amazing. Like, she's in it. Like, that end of that. She is so amazing, and it's her, and it's shot so well, and it is because it's an homage to those old 70s movies where you're putting the actors in danger. You're like, well, let's just get somebody who I can put in danger so I can do the shots, because I'm not going to get insured if I put Kate Hudson on the hood of this car. But this woman, it's her job to do this. So that's the point of having Stath in your movie.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And so everything about that biker gang, just in general, both biker gang fights, I get what you're saying. The one in the mansion was definitely better, but why are they there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It needed to just be Russian. Give me faceless Russian mobsters played by the stunt choreographer, stunt team.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Because this is the Russian mob. They've got dudes. The Bratva. There's a whole season of Arrow that's just about the Bratva. Because you know why that's the thing? There's a whole conversation about the Bratva in this. They're everywhere. They're like fucking cockroaches. So you know what they'd have? Fucking random henchmen.
Yeah, it's interesting. I completely agree with you. So as you were talking, I was thinking, getting my thoughts in line ready for the vote to jump in.
Sorry, I'm so mad.
Beekeeper 2 is not going to be David Ayres. It's going to be a guy called, and I'm going to butcher his name, but I'm going to try, Timo Tjahjanto. He's an Indonesian filmmaker. I've seen most of his action movies. He's amazing. So he did like The Night Comes for Us, which is with Iko Uwais. He did a movie that I loved last year called The Shadow Strays. It's one of my favorite movies I saw last year. But he also did one called The Big Four, which is a very average movie. But there's a scene in that where it's like in a hotel, and it feels like stagey, very similar to what we get here at the end of The Beekeeper. But the way he uses camera and the way he uses his performers, and of course, as we know, with that kind of cinema, they tend to be people who can act good enough, but actually really they're there because they're skillful with their bodies and they can fight and they can fling.
Yeah.
So the reason that was jumping in my head was because like very similar set, a very similar scene. And I was thinking from what you were saying, how much better that would have been with exactly what you're saying. Like get people who can perform the stuff and do good enough acting, because there's not really that much acting involved, is there? But it makes me feel very, very, I'm going to say one more, very positive for Beekeeper 2. In my head, Beekeeper 2 is going to be even better than the first one, I'd imagine, because him playing in that world, he is capable of doing kind of colourful comic booky characters with really cool choreography, really well shot, really well captured. So again, I don't think it would have been right for this per se. My brain is still part of me is listening to you and talking. And I'm still trying to think of like who should have directed this.
You know what I'm looking at? So there was a Mark Dacascos movie, One Night in Bangkok. Did you see that?
No.
Okay, so who directed that? This guy called Weish.
But this is what I mean. And maybe it just needs to be. It needs to be. Let's play on the title. It needs to be a workman-like director.
Correct.
But and somebody who is willing to let them do their thing. Almost that's why take charge at this point. Like, no, this is what I need. This is how I do it. Right. This is how you capture me. He knows what he's doing by now. Let him kind of not action choreograph, because that's I'm not saying he's not taking somebody's job. Somebody's very good at doing that, but Correct. He can tell a workman-like director where to put the camera and how long to run it for and how to capture what he does best now at this point in his career.
Right, or you get like you said, you get a director who makes those kinds of things. Right. So I'm gonna I think Mark Dacascos is one of those guys who in a different world his career is gone. So when I see him in a movie,
he's a superstar in a different world. Yeah,
correct. Right, and he should be a superstar.
Yeah, right?
He's great. But that One Night in Bangkok, it's not the greatest movie, but boy, you know what the fuck is going on. He's like running across boats and there's all kinds of crazy shit happening. And, like Mark Dacascos is American, right? He's Hawaiian, but he's like, because of for reasons, because he looks how he looks, he's like put into all these Hong Kong movies. But he's been in a lot of these like really good, he's a man of a certain age who still can pull things off. Like you said, like, and so you need a director who knows how to do that. So either, like you said, either just like Stath needs to be the shadow director.
Yeah.
Or, like you just said, somebody who's like just going to roll up, who's a nobody, who's done 3 little indie action movies or whatever. There's a lot of like low budget action movies where they know how to do a shot. Like there's so many things where you're just like, this is unfucking watchable. I can't see it. It's like Requiem, AVP Requiem. You're like, I don't know what's happening. It would be super cool to watch the aliens and predators fight in the sewer, but I can't see anything.
Yeah. No, get one of these guys who works for Scott Adkins. Show me all these directors that Scott Adkins works
all the
with.
Scott Adkins,
any one of those.
Any one of those.
And I don't mean that dismissively. They know how to capture
yeah.
action. That Scott Adkins is he is.
Who would be great? You know who is great? Who I love, and I don't know if he'd be willing to just be the director. Is Michael J. White.
Right, well, amazing, absolutely.
He directs all his own shit now, right? He's actually just like, fuck it, I'm just going to direct it myself. And I honestly think he would have been a better, like, as biker gang guy, if that guy was fine, but what if that was Michael J. White?
Right, yeah.
Now you're like, oh, fuck, right?
Yeah.
And then he could have directed it. So I feel like, because if Michael J. White makes a movie, I'm going to watch it. And it knows what it is. And he is definitely getting old in some of those slow elbow moves, but he still makes sure he shoots it right. It looks good. He's charming enough. And this is the problem, right? Stath's charm is lost in this movie.
It is a bit, yeah. And
so I feel like, and this is where, and so to me, is that where the title change doesn't work? Because he's like a working man as opposed to Levon's trade, where it's like, this is his trade, is to be this one-man wrecking machine, where it's just like, I'm just a working man. I'm just a nobody. And so they're like, that's where the reluctant hero comes in instead of like, it's fucking Stath. It's 47 now.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't need you to set me
at least 30 of those are this movie.
Right. So I don't know. I know you wanted to talk about the title change.
No,
I don't know. Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff I watched, I like Air enough. Like, I think we're both being, this film is fine. Don't get me wrong. This is like a 3 out of 5. This is a 6 out of 10. This is it's
You just
fine.
wanted it to be more.
I just want it to be more. Absolutely right. And I think Air is a director for me that is always fine, if not shit. That one time, which maybe wasn't always all his fault, but that movie was just shit. People can say what they want. It's not Suicide Squad, it's Shit Squad. So yeah, that's how.
Didn't he do Blade Trinity though too? Isn't he the one that Wesley Snipes almost killed?
No, that wasn't that.
Oh, that's the other shit director. That's the writer guy who writes shit.
David S. Goyer, yeah.
David S. Goyer, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, David Ayer. I didn't mean to conflate you with David S. Goyer, but did David S. Goyer get a writing credit on this shit squad?
He might have done because he was dabbling in all of that stuff back then.
Anyway, so sorry. Go ahead. Please continue.
No, all the stuff he speaks about behind the scenes is all about like Jason Statham. Yeah, he's grounded. I've written some of the words down that I heard him say. He's grounded. He's real. He's blue collar. And I agree with everything he's saying. That is what is good about the Stath. He feels like he's in these worlds, but he has the skill, but he's kind of earned his way up there because that's been his journey as an actor, right? So he brings that to his characters. So I get that that's what he was going for. And I think the fighting style, he wanted to be kind of believable and look like a guy who'd been trained. And I think that does kind of come across rather than it being kind of heightened, beekeepery, John Wicky type stuff. So I think he has got that right. But I agree with you. Like, he's pushed it too far. And The Working Man, I hate the title of this movie. It's so bland. It's so boring. And the beauty of titles like Levon's Trade, and I get why they didn't want to go with it, I suppose. Mostly because all of us clearly say Levon differently. But the reason why we liked it, I remember we both read the book and were like, I love a title that's got layers.
Yeah.
And like, he's a guy that works in the trade industry, but it's not his real trade. His real trade is, as you said, being a one-man army, is being a wrecking machine. That's great. That's fun. Like, and it tells you there's layers to this character, and it tells you that he knows what he's doing from day one. And I think I agree with you. I think the title is really symptomatic of where this has gone wrong, unfortunately. What a great point for you to make. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
No, I think, well, I mean, you said it right from the beginning, like you struggled with the title. But again, it's like when you watch the trailer, it's like, or the tag was like, human traffickers beware. You're like, no, that is not this movie. First of all, no. Yes, human traffickers, you should all fuck right off and die. Well, and I hope Stath comes for you and kills you. Fuck you. You're the worst. But like that's not what this was, and it doesn't. It just maybe in an edit, it was nearly 2 hours, and maybe it needed 138.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. I feel like, I just cut the grandpa stuff. Like there was just some stuff. Like you already trimmed that stuff down. And I'm sorry, it was just in the wrong order. Those two douchebags are not the big bad. You've got Jason Fleming there. He's the big bad. That's the final scene. I don't need the biker gang. You've got Russian trolls, then you've got the two douchebags, then because you've got Johnny with the Russians. You kill the twins, you kill the douchebag, Viper, and then Jason Fleming. And he was old, but he's still crafty, and he's still he would cheat. He'd like throw dirt, and he'd have like all kinds of tricks or whatever. And I know they're saying like, well, Jason Statham will beat the shit out of Jason Fleming, and that'll be boring. That guy who played Viper wasn't that intimidating.
No, not at all. No, I agree. I think it's a real problem. Like these films need an escalation.
Yes,
and that is where something like Beekeeper got it right. Like as he goes, it gets harder, and the people get more difficult for him to fight. And they're those best movies. You're right. It's like a video game. It's like Tony Jaa movies do this really well.
Tony Jaa.
The longer you go, the harder it gets, and the better, the more skilled they get. Because even they bring in this movie, they bring in these two Vor hitmen guys. They're fucking useless. They walk into. I hate that scene as well. And they're like, Dimmy's in hiding. Not very well. He's in the middle of nightclubs getting really high and really drunk and full view of people. And then the very next scene, they walk in and start shooting it up. But anyway, these two guys, who's like Vor hitmen, they're useless. They turn up at the end, start just randomly shooting everywhere.
Yeah, they don't have any skills other than shooting. Like I know, because they don't do anything. They're like, they are like red shirts, but bad red.
But they should be like, oh my God, I can't believe I survived that. Oh no, there's two more guys. And it should be, like, as you said, like not the big boss, but it's like, I've got to do this now, and it should be really difficult. And am I going to escape? And will we get out? And can I protect Jenny? And the whole time you're just like, just get it over and done with, because
you're the Stath.
Yeah, you're the Stath. And there was no threat from anybody, really, was there?
No. I mean, the person Jason Fleming, obviously, but then you've got David Harbour playing Gunny.
Yeah.
But David Harbour, again, I mean, I think like, ooh, Stath, I want to watch Stath fight David Harbour at the end. I want to watch Stath fight Michael J. White at the end. I want to be
somebody.
Yeah. And if you wanted it to be, if it was going to be the biker king guy who had the throne and everything, great. Have it be him. Have him be the final fight, and have him be evil. Don't have him be like, their pal. Like in a different world, they're friends.
Yeah.
And it was just like, my fight wasn't with you. I know. Well, then why are you here? Why say that line? Why remind us in this dumb part of the movie that this part of the movie is dumb? Like that was like. Anyway, yes, we are being harsher on it than we should be, but it is. I was disappointed. I was so excited to watch this one.
Yeah,
and it's my own fault for being so excited.
I think there is part of that for both of us because of how much we love the book series. But also, I think we may have discussed this before. I'm not sure. But I think when you start to get nitpicky, that's a fault of the filmmakers of what you're watching. You shouldn't be noticing all these small things. They should just be passing you by. You should just be forgiving them. But the trouble is when there's kind of some big shifts here that are problematic, and there's nitpicky things. And the more and more it builds, you start noticing more and more and more, I think. So it's kind of symptomatic.
I think you're right.
That the story isn't taking you along with it.
That's so perfectly said, because as I was watching that stupid bad Dirty Angels action movie, which is bad, I was like, I like this better. I enjoyed that, and that is bad. That is a bad movie that I don't know why Ava Green's in. I'm like, did you just see the Three Musketeers movies you made? Why are you in this? What is happening? If you can make those movies, why are you making this movie? Like, who do you owe a favor to? This is awful. But that's what it knows what it is. So there's no. So I was like, I love those. Shut the brain off. Watch One Night in Bangkok. Watch whatever. Give me whatever dumb. Give me the Michael J. White. Give me the Scott Adkins. Give me the if Frank Grillo's in it, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Is it going to be
yeah.
awful? Absolutely. You know what was great? Cop Shop. It was terrible, but it shouldn't have been anything better than it was.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is, right? So is the kid who played Speed Racer in a bad movie where he like pretends to be a tough guy? Yep. Is it bad? Yes. Am I going to watch it? Yes. This deserved better. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Like so it's like the reason I love the Sharknado movies, or I like those old Corman movies, is because they know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
This should be better. So I think you're right. So that's what I was thinking this morning. You were just articulated it so much better, is that when you're nitpicking, it's your fault. But when the stakes are low and you're like, bad action movie with no plot, cool. But you're giving us stakes and you're making them do the family and do like, and again, you're wasting actors.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why is he in this? Why is Michael Pena in this?
Yeah.
That could have been any rando from the mall.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
And it takes away the fact that Joe Bob is a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're like making him a good family man as opposed to, I don't know. Thumbs down for so many reasons. But again, is Stath awesome? Sure. Did they cast Mary the right way? They did.
They did, yeah. She's great, actually. She gave me the Caitlin Dever from Justified vibes.
Yes, she will be. That's exactly right. She's got it. She's going to have a good career. She's really good. Because that's tough to like roll up and be like in a scene with these big this and be like, I'm going to control the screen while I'm on it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, sorry, friend. Sorry.
Right. Well, that's how we. No, I think we both did. And I think, sometimes the worst thing a movie can be is fine, right? Sometimes that's the worst.
Exactly just like with the Newton's Boys. It's like, this should be better. Yeah. So where do you think this is 47? What was, he just did Beekeeper.
Yeah.
So, this is a step down, right?
For sure. Yeah.
I didn't end up watching it because you told me not to, but is this better than Expendables 4?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not even close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't watch it because you were like, you can give that one a pass. Just listen to me and Max talk about it. Yeah, so I did.
Yeah. And maybe just watch him one-man army for 20 minutes on a boat, but even that's not great.
Yeah, that's too bad.
It's definitely better than that. This feels like it fits into that mid-tier era of Stath, where he was just sort of not turning up because he always tries. He's always got, do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like that kind of mid-tiery, blitzy era, not this later era where he really kind of is self-possessed and knows what he's doing and seems to be picking roles and starring in things because they maximize his talent. And as you said, his charisma.
Like the Meg movies. Yeah. The Meg movies, those are absurd on their face and are brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it feels like a bit of a fallback to that era of his career, I would have said.
I agree. Well, hopefully he'll make up for it with whatever.
Beekeeper 2, I think, will be another.
I'm excited for that. And if I hear talks, if they ever do Spy 2.
Hey, we're all here for that one.
Yeah, for real. Anyway, okay.
Have you got time for a quick couple of letterboxd?
Of course, sure.
All right. Steve says, much prefer the annual random Jason Statham action movies to the annual random Liam Neeson action movies. Learned this is based on book 1 of a 12-book series. I'll happily take one of these a year for the next decade.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, Liam Neeson supposedly was a name that was in the frame for this, so much better with the Stath. That would have been perhaps a 1-star movie, I think. Not that, just definitely, Liam Neeson is definitely not right for Levon.
No, not at all.
He's not even right for Levon.
Or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, wrong. Yeah.
All right, Mike Carter says, this is a pretty simple proposition, an action flick in which a man with a particular set of skills becomes a nightmare for the criminals who take the daughter of his hardworking boss. We should therefore get the States take on Taken, the Equalizer, John Wick. So how on earth did they make it so boring? The character's boring, the build-up is boring, the action is boring. There's no humour or one-liners. I'm a pretty easy customer for a knockoff action film, and consider myself a connoisseur of die-hard rip-offs. Yet even I'm struggling to find anything positive to say about this.
Wow.
Sounds like my kind of guy, though, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, I'm with you. And, The Equalizer is a great shout. I loved those movies. And those are slow burns, and Denzel's past his action prime, but he's fucking Denzel.
Yeah, right.
Right? And those are like in that second one where he's like fucking people up with the credit card. You're like, God damn. I mean, okay.
Inventiveness. Yeah, this was missing a bit of that as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, right, yeah.
All right, one more.
Lou.
We can't have a Stath episode without Lou, can we?
Yeah.
The reason The Beekeeper was awesome is because Statham just absolutely tore through groups of bad dudes in every scene. This movie is sluggish by comparison, with numerous scenes devoted to him infiltrating the criminal underworld of wherever they are. We really didn't need to see him and visit the same biker gang over and over. The one upside I can say is the movie wasn't as racist as I expected it to be. Was wondering why Harbour was there, but apparently he's buddies with Ayers. P.S. Where the hell did they find the guy playing the granddad? He's like great value Ron Perlman. Nowhere near the level of Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman would have been great. Honestly, if you'd have given me Ron Perlman as Gunny and then David Harbour as a bad.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, but David Harbour didn't have to do anything except sit there and look cool. So it works. Oh, my God, that's brilliant. Thanks, Lou. I appreciate you, man.
So you always get the final word, of course.
I mean,
pretty safe to say it's not a new classic.
It's definitely not a new classic. I mean, I loved Beekeeper. I was, again, I had such big hopes for this. I'm reluctant to say it's for completist only because he's done some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't that, right? It isn't the sword and sorcery bullshit. So it's got to be worth catching, but that is all. Like, it's low end worth catching. Like, it's fine. Like you said, it's a 3 out of 5. It's just that if this had been somebody else, if maybe it had been Mark Dacascos, you'd have been like, oh, that was really a fun movie. But even then, if it was shot shot for a shot like this, you'd be like, I couldn't see him do anything, and he's awesome. I want to see him do the shit that Mark Dacascos does. So maybe that's it. And it's having Stath brings a level of expectations where if you're like, I'm bringing in new up and coming fake Stath, Luke Goss is this movie, then this movie's fine as a Luke Goss movie.
Scott Adkins movie. Actually, it's not even as good as a lot of Scott Adkins movies, to be fair.
And Ayers did the original Tax Collector. I looked.
Oh, okay. And he's kind of the DTV Jason Statham. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I've seen most of Scott Adkins movies as well. I would have said I've seen 90% of his. Yeah, and he's great.
Yeah, and he's fun. He shows up and has so much fun in Killer's Game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's willing to do all those kind of parts. So, I hear what you're saying. Like, no matter, I think who you put in here, if it's the film is the same, if we're doing a Psycho shot for shot thing, it's not really going to work, is it? No. Nope.
Might as well just been Michael Pena as the star. It doesn't matter because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Looking forward to Michael Pena's turn as action star. You know what it is? Maybe you could get one of the guys from Death Ring. You could have got the fake Swayze or the fake Chuck Norris's kid, or like any of those guys from
Steve McQueen's son. Yeah,
Steve McQueen's son. Yeah. That would have been that movie had a level of charm and suck.
Yeah,
that I appreciated the balls of that movie. Mm-hmm. And I love The Greatest Game. I mean, that's the thing. You're like, give me that, the world's most dangerous game. And you give me that version of that over and over, it doesn't matter. Even like Leguizamo's The Pest. Like, sure, I'll watch that. I don't know. The source material is good. You've got Stath. Stallone wrote it. Ayers directed it. This deserved better. I don't understand what happened. And it still made $88 million. So maybe. And then what frustrates me is like, it didn't make $88 million. Fucking Peppermint.
Right. Yeah.
And Ava, both of those movies were so amazing, like gloriously amazing. Like I loved them both so very much. And in my dream, they're in the same world, and
nice.
I just have a whole version where they can pal up, but I'm okay because, Gina Davis is there. I have a whole theory in my head about how they can be in the same world. But like Peppermint was fantastic. I loved that movie. Jennifer Garner was a boss in that movie. Mm-hmm. it did not make its money. It did not. And it's just because people rolled up. It was like, a Stath movie. I'm going to go see it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But I don't want him to become that. Like, I don't want him to become the shadow of the Stath. And this is it makes me nervous.
Yeah. Okay.
That he agreed for this to come out. How does it make you feel?
Well, I mean, I think it's quite telling that in all the behind the scenes stuff I watched, he's not on any of it.
Ah, okay.
So I saw all the other actors I saw. I watched a behind the scenes thing from the stunt coordinator talking about that barroom fight scene. Stath is not to be seen. So yeah, that might be quite telling, maybe.
That's fair. Yeah,
it's not like suddenly it's not like some years he's got 3 films out. Maybe he was rushed off to the next set or whatever. He didn't have time, but we haven't got anything else. I don't think coming out from him this year.
No, he's got a couple of things. It looks like he's got 4 things either in production or almost done, which I'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if that says something to us that he wasn't particularly involved in chatting about this afterwards. I couldn't find an interview with him or anything.
Well, there you go. Wah wah. Oh, what a sad return back to the filmography state. But it was good for us to hang out.
Oh, well, always
5 stars. Yeah.
Bro, I know you've got to go. Just before you do, a bit of sales pitch for yourself. Anything you want to talk about?
I mean, just I've sort of let the podcasting sort of die just because I'm super busy at work. But I'm writing. I've got books out. arfarina.com. You can see all that. I've got whenever this will already be out by the thing that I'm doing on the 20th will have already happened. But if you go to Tanya's, I'm doing a live stream with Tanya this next Sunday, and I don't remember some show she's having me on because Tanya's awesome. She's good at promoting me better than I am. Just arfarina.com, all my stuff, books, essays, things that I'm about.
Superb, mate. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, man. Of course.
It seems like Tony and I really had some things to work out our system. Of course it's good to be back, though. I have missed you, Stath. And you keep making them, I'll keep watching them. Regular MUC service will, of course, resume next week. Until then, be excellent to each other and make sure you take the time to treat yourself too. I am Jack signing off. Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers. Cut.